they can so easily be overlooked, but there's little things that can just make your life a lot easier. Hello and welcome, my name is Keirsten and I make lifestyle and motherhood videos. I'm a first-time mom to a little baby boy named Elliot. He's now 11 months old, and in this video I'm going to be covering my favorite baby products. These are your baby registry must-haves in my opinion. Now, not all of these things are newborn specific items. I do have another video I've made that's all the newborn specifics. If you want to check that out, I will link it. This video includes items that are going to carry you through the first year. When you're about to have a baby, you're very focused on the newborn stage. Sometimes that makes it so you're not thinking ahead past those first few months, and what you're going to need after your baby is not a newborn anymore and starts moving on to different stages. The first thing I want to talk about is this little guy. This is the baby bullet. This is going to be so handy for you if you want to make your own pureed food at home for your baby. I know there's a lot of different ways and opinions on how you can feed a baby solids, but what worked well for me was starting off with just purees when Elliot was about 5-6 months old and getting him used to those textures, and then just introducing little bits of non-pureed food once I knew that he could start handling it, like little bits of banana or steamed carrots or anything really soft like that. Basically any food that you want to puree, let's say a sweet potato for example, you're just gonna roast it, steam it, however you want to cook it, and then blend it up in here with a little bit of water or breast milk or formula to whatever consistency you prefer, and there you go, you'll have your pureed food. Also comes with a bunch of little containers that are portioned out for a proper like baby sized portion that makes it really easy to just throw them in the freezer or the fridge and have them ready to go, so you can essentially be meal prepping solid foods for your baby. This comes with a food guide that kind of gives you guidelines on what types of foods are good to introduce to your baby based on their stage of eating, and it goes up through when your baby is able to start just eating the same food that you are eating as the family. The next product I love is the Fisher-Price Sit Me Up floor seat. This is so helpful for when your baby gets to a stage where they're sick of being on their back so much. Maybe they don't want to be in a bouncer anymore, that's boring to them at this point, and they want to be able to sit up and see more of the world around them. So with the floor seat you can just plop them in and there they are, sitting up, looking around the world, having a great time, and it comes with toys you can attach to it, or you can attach whichever other toys you want. But it's a great way to keep your baby entertained, and it's so easily portable. You can just pick it up and bring it to whatever room you're hanging out in or getting a chore done or whatever, so your baby is right there next to you. The next item I have loved is a sleep sack. Now this is what we used to transition Elliot out of using a swaddle when he was really little, and upon my studies of sleep sacks and just learning about why they're so beneficial, there's a few things that I really like. First and foremost, it's safe. It's attached to them like a vest, so you know that they can squirm around and go from one end of the crib to the other without getting all twisted up and without any risk of blankets getting up near their face. Another benefit of it being attached to them and not going anywhere is that you know that it's going to stay on and keep them warm all night long. Also, once your baby is a bit bigger and they can move around so much easier in their crib, you'll find that their little feet can easily get stuck in the slats of the crib, but this prevents that because it's enclosed and it prevents one little foot from going through and being stuck in the crib, and then your baby might wake up and be upset because their foot is stuck, and that's no fun for anybody. And because your baby's wearing this, you can have a bunch of extra space down where the feet go. So this means that one size is going to fit your baby for months at a time, and you don't have to keep buying the next size up in these very quickly because they do fit for so long. And they come in a bunch of different levels of thickness. Everything from your baby basically wearing a sheet if it's really hot out, to a blanket, to a heavier like comforter equivalent. Cannot recommend sleep sacks enough. The first one we bought was the Halo. I loved that, but I have no complaints with any of the other ones I've bought. I wouldn't get too caught up in specific brands, at least in my experience. This next product is something I wish I knew about a bit earlier actually in my journey as a mom. It is the Lovevery brand of play kit subscription boxes. Lovevery is a company that designs toys that are tailored specifically to your baby's age and their development stages that they are most likely in. Lovevery was kind enough to reach out and send us a couple play boxes, and we have opened the one called the Thinker, which is I believe for ages 11 to 12 months. So that's what we're using right now. This is just one of the toys that comes in the box. As you can see, this is a wooden toy, which I just love the look of. I think that these are all really well made, and so far in our experience, Elliot has loved playing with them. So this toy, just as an example, is a little box with a sliding top, so you can move the top over and have the ball in the box, and you can grab the ball and put it in the other side and plop it down. Once Elliot got to the stage where we needed to move on from the baby toys like the rattle and little simple toys like that, I actually thought it was a little bit overwhelming trying to find ones that I thought that he would like playing with, he'd be entertained by, and that were going to help with his development. So Lovevery does all of that work for you and sends you a box that is tailored directly to your baby's developmental needs at that time, which I just think is really, really cool. It comes with multiple toys and books and different things depending on which box you're getting. It also always comes with like a play guide that basically walks you through each toy and recommends when you should introduce it and different ways that you can play with it and how that's going to help your baby's development. So thank you again to Lovevery for sending us these awesome toys to check out. Okay, this next one is going to seem really basic, but I love to include basics in my videos like this because they can so easily be overlooked, but there's little things that can just make your life a lot easier. So we're talking about socks. These socks are special because they've got little grippies on them on the bottom of the foot. I love these because if it's cold, you want your baby to have their feet warm, so you gotta put socks on them. But once they're trying to crawl and stand up and do all these developmental milestones, you don't want a normal sock on their foot that's gonna allow their foot to slip around as they're trying to do that, because it's really important for their feet to feel where they're moving so they can crawl and do all that stuff. But with these little grippies on the bottom, it keeps their foot in place and doesn't allow it to slip around. Next up is a jumper, really of any kind or any brand. We have the Baby Einstein Ocean one that I actually got secondhand and I've loved it. It's got so many different little toys and interactives and music and buttons and everything that your baby could ever want, all right there surrounding them. And of course, the whole point is that they can jump in it. So it's just fun for them to get to do something else, again, not lying on their back. They're up, they can see everything, and it's just a great way to keep your baby entertained. It's pretty easily portable. They can be pretty bulky, but honestly you can just pick it up and move it to another room. As long as it fits through a doorway, I think it's good. I'll use it a lot when I'm folding laundry or prepping some food in the kitchen. Another thing that's great is it's keeping your baby contained because once they can crawl around and get into stuff and you just need a few minutes to get a chore done or something, you know your baby's safe and content in the jumper. This is a little silicone mesh feeder. Basically, you just pull this down, this comes off, and you can put food in here and give it to your baby so they can hold on to it and eat it themselves. I found that this was a great safe way to teach Elliot how to feed himself, a nice little stage in between getting spoon-fed and picking up food and giving it to himself. What I'll use this the most often for is like yogurt or fruit or frozen fruit. Frozen fruit's really good if it's a hot day. It's like a nice little popsicle treat for your baby. Next I have a bib combo. Okay, so this is basically a smock. Your baby's arms go in here, there's a little pouch on the bottom, and then it ties around their neck up at the top. I love this because it pretty much covers their entire torso, including their arms, so that their sleeves aren't getting all messy once they're starting to feed themselves. The theme that you'll notice in this video is to make feeding easier and playing easier. Those are the problems I found myself solving over and over again within Elliot's first almost year. What I often do is put this on first, the smock bib, and then on top of that I'll do a silicone like catch-all bib. It'll just catch whatever food he drops because a whole meal essentially ends up in this like bottom trough thing. It also helps catch any water if your baby's learning to drink water as well. So these two together are the next best thing to keeping things not messy, I guess, compared to your baby not wearing a shirt at all and just getting fed in their diaper. Okay, I have a little guest joining me for this video. His name is Scout. Here he is. So Scout is a toy by LeapFrog, and Elliot loves Scout. This little guy is just so entertaining because he plays songs, he interacts and talks, he plays bedtime music, and what's so cool is that you customize what he says to your baby. So you program in your baby's name, and this is just with an app that you can get with the toy. So he'll say your baby's name, their favorite color, which you just make up at this point because they're a baby, they don't have a favorite color, their favorite food, stuff like that.
Elliot, let's sing a song about you.
And I love using Scout for the bedtime music as well. I'll turn that on as we're winding down for the night and getting ready to go to bed, and it's a nice little part of the bedtime routine. This is the Munchkin Miracle 360 sippy cup, and this is really great for when your baby is starting to learn to drink water. Based on what I've learned just doing my own research, you want to try to encourage your baby to actually drink from a regular cup first rather than a traditional sippy cup, because a sippy cup mimics drinking from a bottle and doesn't facilitate them learning to drink from a cup. This is cool because it doesn't spill. You can put water in here, shake it, turn it upside down. It's not going to spill because of like the rubber seal around here, and your baby basically tilts it and drinks it and just sucks the water out of the side and mimics the same way that they would be drinking out of a cup. It did take a little bit for Elliot to learn how to drink from this, but once he got it down, he's been doing pretty well, and I just love that it means water's not getting dumped all over the place every single time that we have a sip of water. This next one is definitely not something I would have initially thought to put on a registry, but it is some bath padding basically. This set is from Skip Hop, and it comes with this little, I don't know what you would call it. You just basically put water in this, and it's got a rubber lip on it so that when you pour water over your baby's head to rinse them off, it keeps the water from flowing down into their eyes, which in many cases prevents a lot of dramatic tears during bath time. This pad is a cute little whale. It's just for you to put your knees on outside of the bath while you're leaning over into the bathtub giving your baby their bath. I don't have it here with me because it's attached to the tub, but there's another pad that just goes over the side of the bathtub so that when you're leaning over you can rest your elbows on it. This combo of items makes bath time so much more comfy for the parent. I can't imagine not having them because then my knees would hurt every single time that I'm trying to give Elliot a bath. And a little bonus that I use this for is for when I Cinderella style clean the bathroom floors. I use this as a knee pad as I'm scrubbing along. Alright, we're going back to basics again with this one. I did want to talk about clothes because, as you know, there's so many different options for baby clothes, and it's so easy to get suckered into buying a bunch of clothes because they're cute. And I agree, they are so cute, and I wish they were a bit more functional, but many of them are just not. I have pretty much kept Elliot in the most basic of clothes his whole life because they're easy and they're comfortable for him, and I think that's what actually matters. Elliot wears onesies still. I'll be so sad, by the way, when he's too big for onesies. Like, they're just the best. So he'll wear a short sleeve onesie if it's hotter out with some shorts, or if it's colder out, then we will go with a long sleeve onesie option with some cotton pants. When I was putting my registry together, I found that clothing was one of the most overwhelming items to try to figure out, so I thought it would be helpful for you if you're wondering. Just stick with the basics. It's so much simpler for you, and you can just get a few one-off outfits that you'll probably be gifted anyway for cute photos and things like that. Another item I have loved consistently is the UBBI diaper pail. I know that there are different brands out there, but I can say that the UBBI is great at containing the poopy diaper smell, which is what the whole purpose is, right? It has worked great for us, and something else I really like about it is it doesn't require you to have to buy a specific branded bag to put in there. You can put any trash bag. So that's a nice little cost-saving bonus. There are the main items that I think are the best baby products that I found the most helpful in my first year of being a mom, and that I think you should really consider putting on your registry. I hope that this was helpful for you and helped ease the overwhelm of trying to prepare for a baby, or even looking ahead at what you need after your baby is in the newborn stage. Thank you so much for stopping by to watch this video. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. And if you want to see more videos with lifestyle and motherhood topics to help make your life easier, don't forget to subscribe by hitting the red button below. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!